Today, I'm going to show you realistic, low stress ways to bring in extra money without tech overwhelm, upfront cost, or working long hours. These are options ordinary people use quietly every day. I'm one of them, and even if they've never thought of themselves as side gig people. How does that sound to you? Many mature adults, like myself, are feeling the squeeze right now, financially. And prices keep rising. Retirement incomes feels tighter than expected. I'm still working and working multiple jobs. How about you? They're asking for help or going back to a traditional job. If you've been retired, you might be going back or looking into something new. And oftentimes, if you've already left the workplace, a lot of those options don't feel possible or even appealing. And on top of that, when people talk about side hustles, it often sounds complicated, scammy, or just designed for younger people who live online. And there are so many good opportunities that go unnoticed simply because no one ever explained them very clearly. If you don't know me, my name's Tiffany. I'm the founder of Anderson Therapeutics, and thank you so much. If you've watched before, thank you for being here today. My Aging Well channel is all about my holistic ways of living, and a lot of that is based on financial stability. And for me, that means that I've been working multiple jobs for years. By the end of this video, you'll know several legitimate, low-cost ways to earn extra money using things you already have. Things like your opinions, your time, your everyday purchases, and even items sitting around your house. And I'm going to walk you through a few things that I have been trying recently, as well as things that I have been doing for years to bring in extra income. And first of all, I want to talk to you about survey sites. Now, this may raise some eyebrows. You may roll your eyes and have done these before. I'm going to show you one that I have been participating in for a number of years, and another one that is actually set up through Amazon. It's called Amazon Mechanical Turk, and I will put the link in the description below where you can actually investigate that option for yourself. I have been participating in Amazon as an MTurk worker for a long time now, and I do get paid. It's not going to make me rich by any means, though added income, even if it's just a little bit of extra money coming in that helps me with paying the fuel bills, paying for gas in my car, paying for extra groceries, whatever the situation is, any type of extra income is beneficial. Let me show you a site called Branded Surveys. Okay, I'm showing you right now the home page. I'm logged in, so if you look off to the side, then you'll see, hi, Tiffany Anderson. I have been participating in branded surveys for a few years now. This one came into my life post-pandemic when I was home looking for extra ways to earn money because, like many people, the pandemic caused me to lose my job, lose many loved ones, and so the whole shutdown was chaotic alone, let alone for those of us who were scrambling to grieve the losses as well as finding a new job. This is one of those odd little side gigs that I found, and am I, again, building wealth on this? No, though they're relaxing. It's something that I can do in my downtime. And you can see here, as far as my points, 1 penny is 1 point. And so right now I have a possible payout of $6.81. Over excuse me, over here on the this side of the screen, there's a way that you can get a bonus at the end of the week. There was a time when I had the extra abilities to spend a lot more time on the survey site to ensure that every Sunday when I was cashing in, that I haven't had enough to get the extra 15% is the highest amount of bonus that you can get at the end of the week. Now, again, this is a very minimal, though if you look at over the course of a month, a few months, and certainly over a year, the money adds up. Another thing that I opted into, and this was actually over a couple of decades ago because my son was still home and he's 39 years old now. I opted into a few companies that offered mystery shopping. Some of them have gone out of business, others are still available. And one of them that I participate with now is called Sinclair Metrics. And these again are based on your area. They are not a lot of money, though the work is interesting. And if you're someone that is very active in your community, perhaps you're running a lot of errands, you've got a fairly busy schedule running kids around or taking care of older adults or work in the field a lot. I travel a lot just around my own city because I work in the field of public health. I also travel a lot for business and for recreation. And I can actually do and schedule mystery shops, sometimes at the airport or just in retail shops or even in corporate settings. There's a variety of mystery shops that they usually give you a flat fee, some type of a reimbursement or a bonus, depending on if you're actually buying something or have to make a return or something, that they're really interesting and I found it quite enjoyable. Those are things that I like to fit in, especially if I know that a an added expense is coming up or I'm saving up for something. I love to stack little side jobs like this, and it's interesting to me. I've also found now that I've been an empty nester for so long that it's it's an odd way of saying it's a social outlet, though it is, especially with mystery shopping because you're pretending. And that I find really entertaining. Focus groups are another way that I've earned money over the years, and these have been incredibly random how they've shown up in my life. Sometimes I would just see them posted at the library or on a community board back when newspapers were still part of my weekly routine. We still have weekly local community papers that, and I certainly still get a lot of email newsletters. When I was a student, I put myself through college later in life as an adult, and there were always some type of a focus group going on or a research study on campus. And inevitably, there would be some type of financial reward or a thank you or even a gift card. And I find research and science fascinating. I have a degree in health science, and if I can share my opinion or test a product and give my thoughts on something and earn some extra money, that's another bonus because I feel that I'm participating in something and making a difference. Plus, there's some added income. Depending on, I'm certainly not a tax advisor, though there are restrictions on, of course, how all of this is considered taxable income. Talk to your financial advisor on that. The last one that I will share with you is something that I just started to do recently, and I opened an eBay store. I found a great channel on YouTube. His name is Dave, and the channel is Retired with Purpose. His channel is one of two that actually inspired me to start this YouTube channel, and I'm not monetized by any means. This is more of a creative outlet. It's a legacy project, and I'm I work in public health. I have a website, I'm a writer, and it's a way for me to share health information and share my holistic approach to health with other people. If I ever get monetized, that will be great. Though, in the meantime, this for me is a hobby. It's interesting for me, and it's another way for me to chat with people and share advice and have conversations, because there are often times where I'm sending a link privately to people I know, since I don't have a lot of followers and I don't get many comments on my videos. So this is very new for me. Back to the eBay store. Retired with Purpose, he talked about he and his wife and how they have turned selling things on eBay into an additional source of income during their retirement. And they actually go out treasure hunting, which I love to do anyway. I love to go thrift store shopping and going to yard sales, though I had never thought about it as the buy and resell type thing. And that's what he does. His encouragement to start an eBay store is because I'm in the midst of downsizing. I live in an older, small, historic home already, though I am 60 and I am at that getting closer to the retirement, and I'm also looking into a nomadic journey. I'm investigating that. I'm taking a few road trips today to see if a period of time, whether it's a van or a box truck or something, I think it sounds fascinating. There's a number of people I also follow on YouTube that have done the same thing, and I think it sounds like an adventure. Will I do it permanently? I don't know yet, but that's where I'm heading. So I am downsizing right now. I have way too much stuff, and I have been pleasantly surprised at the amount of items that I've been able to sell on eBay, and I've made a good amount of money so far. That's been interesting. I will leave you with one extra goodie, and this one may or may not sound appealing. And I have been participating in clinical research studies, and those were things that I was actually encouraged to do by my doctor back when I was a young mother. And I knew that there were ways that you could receive discount health services, get treatments, or participate in studies if you had an illness of some kind. There are even studies that a friend of mine, they couldn't afford to have their teenagers' wisdom teeth pulled. And lo and behold, there happened to be a study that was taking place, and this is all medical professionals. It's not some back alley shoddy experience. This is a highly clinical, you're getting top-notch care. So they were able to get their teenagers' wisdom teeth removed, fully taken care of, and then they received a significant amount of money once it was all finished. I'm participating in a research study right now, and I have been on the, I don't want to call it a waiting list though, since I participated in studies with a few places before. They have my information already. And when a study comes up, then I get an email prompt of some kind, since they already know the status of my health and if I would qualify. There are often studies that I participate in, and it's simply cognitive or a mental health. I participated in a study last year talking about stress management apps, and then had the opportunity to try out a fitness app that was designed for mature women. And I tried out all of their fitness routines. I had a webcam interview and was given some funds at the end, and it came in an Amazon gift card. And that's a place I spend money at anyway, because I subscribe to items on there, and that's another way that I save money. I hope this has been interesting. I'm sharing this because I know there are a lot of adults out there, especially mature women like myself, who are living alone. And in my area, housing costs are extraordinarily high. That is one of my biggest concerns alongside my health that I have for my future. And maintaining my independence and maintaining my freedom and having the ability to travel, those are my top priorities now. I have no desire to stop working. I certainly want to retire from the corporate gig that I'm in, only because that I find it restrictive and it's certainly taxing. There is a lot of high turnover in the field of public health and a lot of compassion fatigue that takes place. And I know that a lot of the work is certainly taking a toll on my health, my mental health, my heart health, my emotional, and it's also a lot of wear and tear on my car that just driving around in the valley, I would much rather be out traveling and seeing a lot more of this beautiful country that I live in and other parts of the world. If this was useful, if any of the ideas resonated with you, and if you've participated in any of those before, put that down in the comments. What survey sites have you tried? Do you participate in clinical studies? Are there mystery shops that you've done before that have surprised you, or some that were kind of a bust? I've had those experiences as well. There are a lot of shoddy sites out there, and as I said, I will put the information in the description below with the reputable sites that I've been working with that have been paying me regularly as far as the surveys and mystery shops. With the clinical studies, speak to your doctor. I'm a health educator. This is advice. And any type of a clinical research study, I always discuss it with my doctor beforehand and thoroughly go through all of the material so I know what I'm getting myself into and if there is any risk involved and if it would truly be worth my time, my energy, and my health. Thanks again for watching. Give this a thumbs up. Share it with a friend if you found it useful. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you again next time.